Projects, and it's like not just in class stuff too. I mean, there are projects you have to do outside of class time as well as interning.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting Lombard campus is where you go if you're serious about a career in broadcasting.
You have to come up with the show topics, you have to research the show topics, come up with talking points for your host. So it's not something that you just take a lackadaisical approach to, but if it's something that you really want to do, if you really want to be a reporter, if you really want to be on air, you really want to be a camera guy, then yeah, it's a program that'll at least give you the entry-level skills to help you get that first job in the business.
I'm Jonathan Hood, instructor at Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, and I suggest that you find out more today by going to the website beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Hi, this is Joe Perry
and Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive. I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
What's up? It's Jonathan Hood from Chicago's Game Night. You've heard me talk about the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, but what do the students think?
My name's John Stevens. I am a promotion coordinator at ESPN. Everybody was helpful. Everyone cared. All the teachers at ICB were really there and passionate about their job and sharing their idea and their dream with you so you could achieve your goal.
At ICB in Lombard, you learn the tools that will help you get that first job in the business. Dozens of industry pros teach you how to be on air, produce shows behind the scenes, work digital equipment, and design web pages.
And it works around your time. It's very flexible, and they work with you at every hour and any day they possibly can.
Plus internships, career placement assistance, and a commitment to your success.
I'm living the dream, and I suggest that everyone who has a passion for radio or television or web design, ICB is definitely a place for them to go.
Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports to get started. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Just being part of the ESPN team is special, and it's all because of ICB.
You love sports, you have drive and determination, but you need skills to work in sports broadcasting. Hey, this is Herb Lawrence. I'm here to tell you how to get those skills, just like I did at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard. Get hands-on training for a career in radio, TV, or digital media. Learn to be a host, producer, or shoot and edit video. With internships, job placement assistance, and affordable tuition, you can get started with a new career at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Enrolling now. Go to beonair.com/score. That's beonair.com/score.
SportsTownChicago.com is an internet sports station that is located at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, Illinois. We offer you a chance, or should I say, an opportunity, to become an on-air personality, get invited to live sporting events, and we teach you how to interact with your listeners. Get the training you need to get in the broadcasting industry. Just go to SportsTownChicago.com or dial 630-916-1700.
You must be your fairy godmother. Yes.
It doesn't take a fairy godmother to tell you that the right fit means everything.
Good heavens, child. You can't go in that.
Children under 4'9" need to be in a booster seat because they aren't ready for adult safety belts alone. Remember that 4'9" is the magic number, and get your little pumpkin there safely in a booster seat.
Oh, thank you.
For more information, visit boosterseat.gov. This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
What's up, Chicago? It's Rufio. Are you looking to get hands-on training for a career in radio or TV? Just do what I did and go to the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Whether you're looking to be on air or behind the scenes, the Illinois Center for Broadcasting is for you. As a graduate of ICB, I was placed in an internship with KISS FM, and now I'm on the air. You can do the same. For more info, go to beonair.com/career. That's beonair.com/career.
Sports Talk.
Attention, family, friends, players, coaches, and fans. Are you a high school or college athlete that had your game covered by SportsTownChicago.com? You can relive the glory by going to our podcast section of our website to listen to all the past games over the last 2 years. Just go to the website at SportsTownChicago.com and check out the podcast section, and it'll take you right to your sport. Now that's SportsTownChicago.com.
It's time to kick off your career in radio or TV broadcasting. There's no better or faster way than the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Check out our website at beonair.com/Lombard or call us at 630-916-1700 to set up a tour and see all the hands-on training you can receive. The best part of the program is the job placement department that will help you find your first job in broadcasting. Just listen to what some of our recent graduates have to say about the program. Kevin Wood, Production Director, Next Media, Joliet.
My favorite part about going to the Illinois Center for Broadcasting was, first of all, I got to do everything here. For anybody looking to get into the program, I would say be ready to learn, be ready to get in here and really take your skills to another level on your own. The instructors can show you how to do it.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting, where broadcasting careers begin.
Check it out! Somebody make some noise in this joint, man!
Every day, the chances of becoming a victim of mercury poisoning increase. Mercury poisoning may cause neurological damage that impairs learning, vision, and memory. And mercury itself has become part of our everyday lives, absorbed by certain fish, taken into our bodies, and passed on to our children like a common cold. But you can stop this. Log on to earthshare.org and find out how. A public service message brought to you by Earthshare and the Ad Council.
It is very much the school where you get out of it what you put into it.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard gets results.
My name is Misty Callahan, and I am a traffic reporter for Total Traffic and Weather Network.
From being on air to the all-important behind the scenes.
You're constantly doing projects, and it's like not just in class stuff, too. I mean, there are projects you have to do outside of class time as well as interning.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting Lombard campus is where you go if you're serious about a career in broadcasting.
You had to come up with the show topics. You had to research the show topics, come up with talking points for your host. So it's not something that you just take a lackadaisical approach to. But if it's something that you really want to do, if you really want to be a reporter, if you really want to be on air, you really want to be a camera guy, then yeah, it's a program that'll at least give you the entry-level skills to help you get that first job in the business.
I'm Jonathan Hood, instructor at Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, and I suggest that you find out more today by going to the website beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Hi, this is Joe Perry.
And Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive.
I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
We've played 2 full periods here at Leafs Ice Center, and the Chicago Cougars have a very favorable advantage, 6-3 on top of these Illiana Blackbirds. One more time, Eric O'Brien, Eric Willowhite, and Chris Labosco will pop into your picture right now for SportsTownChicago.com's coverage of the United States Premier Hockey League, and this has been an interesting game. Certainly most of our keys to the game have played out so far, Chris.
Yeah, for the most part, secondary scoring has happened. You've had the Zavain train going. The intensity hasn't been there always. It started off a little bit sluggish for the Cougars. They got better as the period went along. Then in the second period, started off pretty hot, kind of went down, then back up, and then back down towards the end of the period. So staying with things, and of course you heard Brad Stouffer's there beforehand. He's, defenseman thinking it's point time. So you got to try and keep that.
And Eric, looking forward for the Cougars, it's a nice schedule. They get to play these Blackbirds one more time as they vie for this first place push.
That's correct. So they'll be playing at Illiana tomorrow evening. That one is a 7:30 game. And then they turn around, as they do in this league, and they'll come back and play Sunday night at the Sears Center against the Wisconsin Rapid River Kings. So
that'll be a big one, too, because that's the team. I think they're in third place right now. They're always in that 3 or 4 spot. So another big one for the Cougars. And, of course, don't forget Mondays. You can listen on SportstownChicago.com to Chicago Cougars All Access, and you can hear from your Chicago Cougars. We always have a couple players on, and, of course, head coach and general manager Brad Stofers.
Stofers was a good interview, I got to say. I was impressed with how long he talked to you and the things that he had to say.
He's very honest, and you have to like that from a coach.
You don't always get that from a coach, so it's a nice luxury to have. A shot goes wide. That was Lundberg. Olsen putting one in, almost deflected off in a Blackbird stick, and a goal from behind. And that looked like Lundberg again. Was that? No, it was Letmansky.
Yeah, Letmansky, I think, was the one who got that one. So another guy onto the score sheet for the Cougars as well, as they've had multiple different scores. And see Letmansky come in behind, and he's got that long reach, and you saw the goalkeeper thought the puck was going to be coming out the other end, it looked like. So we'll watch it here. He goes to the other side. He lost his stick, too, so I think maybe he thought he was going to be able to get to his stick. But bad timing, and the Cougars get another goal.
Letmansky is the 7th Cougar to get on the board, and that's where we stand, 7-3.
When the Cougars are at their best, Eric, they have multiple people scoring. This is the kind of game they want. Multiple points, but from multiple people, not just 2 or 3 guys.
They scored within the first minute of the second period. They scored within the first minute of the third period. It was a slow start in the first period, but they've really taken off since then, Eric.
Yeah, this is the big. So getting that first goal, I think, is the best thing that can happen for the Cougars now. Doesn't mean you can relax. And again, Coach Stofers talked about that between periods. You still have to play your game. You still have to play a responsible game. But getting that first goal in the third period here definitely gives them a lead that they can work with even more.
And when you look at the Cougars throughout the season, they usually get stronger as the period goes along if you look at their goal scoring chart.
Palermo wants to get on the board and cannot do so. Doremus tosses one down there, and now Illiana will come up a hard check. Look to be Nain smashing Rosikoff into the sideboards here just below us. We've had a few hits right below us. Some nice sound for you at home.
Nice sound for us here, too.
Anytime you can hear it through headphones, you know it's got to hurt a little bit. Here comes Illiana. And couldn't quite follow through on the shot. That's because Laukkanen got in front.
Got a piece of it with his stick, and kind of almost a toe save by Bars. He had to stick out that left pad still to even get it. He was kind of caught in that spot where he was kind of getting out in front of his crease still, and he kind of just had to stick it out there.
That was almost like pitch and catch there from Rusikoff to Barr. Just sort of tossed one to his glove. And Barr let him know, I'm still watching you.
I'm sure a couple of these guys are probably baseball players too.
Barr is 6'4". I knew he looked big.
It's a tough target to get it past, and it's proven to be the case for the Blackbirds.
Yeah, I think when you look at all the goals that Barr has given up, you can't really blame him for any of them. Maybe one of them.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, that first goal, deflection, kind of partial screen.
Yeah, I can't blame him for that one.
No.
You can't blame him for the one-on-one. I think actually the other two were one-on-one goals. So I think I think right now so far he's played a solid game. The pucks he's supposed to stop, he has.
Right.
They're on the right wing circle working into the center, and that's Stavovich. He has 2 goals already, and that is the biggest threat for Illiana. As long as the Cougars can put a man on 47, they should be okay the rest of the way. In front shot, and another goal.
That one was just too easy for Mike Watson there.
Yeah, Stofo had a clean look at that, and he couldn't come up with it.
You know what, though? That's a shot from the high slot. Watson has everywhere to go. And it all starts here behind the net. You see that the Blackbirds, they were too far down, so they give a lot of room for Mike Watson to shoot. And there's maybe even a partial screen in front there created by their own team. So the captain getting on the board for another goal.
It's to the point where Chicago scores a goal and they don't even show any emotion. There's no high five or anything for about 3 seconds. They just go as their business.
Business as usual. And that's the first multi-goal scorer we have in the game, too, guys, as that's the second for Mike Watson.
An unlikely scoring leader for this game.
He's missed a lot of time because he had a concussion earlier that had kept him out for a while, and he's been finally getting back into the flow of things, and I think he's really starting to come on here in these last couple of series for his team, and he is the captain of the team.
Yeah, you're starting to see Illiana really doesn't have an answer right now. They just need something positive to happen, but it's just not happening.
Spirits are being tested for the red sweaters, for the white jerseys. This is all fun. Everyone probably can't wait to get off that bench and get their chance at this goalie. And as you said, it's not Stolfo's fault.
No, not at all. I don't think you could have blamed the first goalkeeper for Illiana as well in Krastensen. I mean, there's maybe a goal or two that he should have stopped, but even still, he gave up, I think, 6 or 5. Right. So it's still a lot of goals that are not just on him.
Zvane will drop that one off for
net off the mooring here. Yeah, sometimes they'll do the goalie change, obviously, to change up the fortune of the team. It's hard to say if that was the thinking of Reed Simpson's decision to pull the goalie there, but either way, it hasn't had the intended effect. The team, has only put up 3 goals so far, and they're facing a 5-goal deficit.
Might have been just to keep his goalie spirits up.
That could be too, right? That was his first game.
Looked like Zvane was dropping it off for Nickerson, and he just plowed through the goal. So Nickerson will try a shot. Nothing close there. Stavovich tries to clear it out. A race to the puck, and that will be icing.
So a little fact, our coach for Illiana, Reed Simpson, former NHL player. He was drafted by the Flyers, I think, in 1989.
Played for the Blackhawks.
Yeah, he played for the Blackhawks for a bit. He played for several teams. Kind of one of those lunch pail enforcer types in the league. Obviously, drafted by the Flyers, you could see a little bit of that. I think one year he had a high of 260 penalty minutes with Albany in the AHL. So he definitely knows his way around the gloves, shall we say.
And once again, don't forget about Chicago Cougars All Access every Monday, 2 to 3 o'clock p.m.
The Cougars working with an 8-3 lead over the Blackbirds. And now they're just shooting from wherever they can, looking to pick up any garbage in front of the net. It looks like Illiana is going to have to really have their will tested here and their spirit for how much they want to compete.
And I think Brad Stofers is probably happy with the effort his team is giving here in the third period, too, as you watch that last save. Easy save for the goalkeeper, but still, his team is keeping the intensity up and keeping the pressure on, not getting into lazy habits.
Olsen slides one in on goal, but no problem there for Stolfo. One of the few easy chances he's had.
Yeah, for Stolfo, I mean, he's seeing a lot of shots. I'll be curious to see the post-game stats to see how many shots exactly this team will have seen total. I wouldn't be surprised if we get up to the 40 mark or even above it.
Yeah, it kind of feels that way.
Chicago still playing with a lot of energy as that pass intercepted by Peters. Going to get some new Cougars on the ice here.
Yeah, Krolak took a shot off the leg there. Nothing intentional, but definitely didn't feel good.
And Lemansky couldn't quite get over the board on the line change. He fell down. That will give up the puck. And the Cougars are able to take it away. And again, Lemansky. A shot and a stick save by Stolfo. Stolfo getting way out of the goal and getting that puck in his chest, holding it tight. A lot of players in front to clean it up, but
yeah, he wanted to cut down the angle, like you said. He came out of the net, got to cut down the angle and shot for the point there.
Which you need to do.
Right. A little bit of loose change there, but he was able to cover it up fairly quickly.
Remus has not found any net quite yet, but he's certainly had plenty of chances sitting out on that corner, top of the left wing circle, just slapping it in.
Yeah, you just want Willie DeRemus taking smart shots from up there, not getting them blocked, and then maybe going for a breakaway the other way.
Nice keep.
That's Palermo. Lemansky does another job of stealing the puck. He's got some length on him. Backhand by Krustikov, can't get in there. And here come the Cougars. Speedy. And again, the playing surface you see having an impact in this game.
Yeah, a lot more edges lost than I thought we would normally see. Maybe the ice, maybe it's a little soft.
Palermo coming up coast to coast from the right side, and a shot goes wide. Deflected. Looked like to be off the left shin pad.
Or would it be too hard, the ice? Either way, it's one of the two where it's just you're not catching that and holding that edge well.
Vervliet tries a shot, no good. And this will be Svein really tracking the puck down. Svein and Nickerson trailed by Rayback.
That off the boring again.
So one of the things you talked about before, Chris, was some of the minutes that the top line players are playing for the Cougars. I think right here, Coach Elfers is looking for an opportunity to spread that out a little bit. You have a 5-goal lead. You have 2 games coming up tomorrow night and Sunday night.
Yeah.
You're playing the same team tomorrow night. So here's an opportunity to kind of spread your bench out a little.
I think he's going with that regular rotation of lines right now. You know, you spend your 30 seconds or whatever it might be out there and then off right away. There hasn't been anybody too long. Like you're seeing the top line here stay on for the end of this shift here, but I'm sure they'll be off right away depending on what happens on the face-off here, if they get a shot opportunity or what happens.
And the Cougars come away with the face-off, well, for the time being at least. Not how they wanted it. Now, guys, looking back at that replay, it appeared that Stolfo, without any influence, kind of knocked his own goal out of the way. Is that any kind of a technique when someone's in behind you to just stop play?
Well,
it can be.
I was going to say, when you're pushing off, if it goes off, you're not going to be upset about it as a goalie. That's for sure. And
I've rarely seen refs call that too. It has to be something that's completely blatant.
I mean, that net's been doing that all day for both teams too. I think it's more just that net isn't as solid as some of the other ones are.
A couple of players down, a couple of sticks down. Looks like Svein getting tumbled over, and he's not happy about it.
Poya in the middle of that again.
A much bigger Svein. Looks to be 26. Poya, yeah. You said it, Eric. He's going to take some penalty time here, but he had a smile on his face, almost like.
That's not new for Poya. So coming into the game here.
Not afraid to mix it up, you're saying?
No, not at all. Not at all. 101 penalty minutes coming into the game, so just adding to that total. You know, he's a scrappy instigator.
Chicago's gotten on the board 8 times in this affair, but I don't believe any of them have come off the power play. Ironically enough, Illiana plays better a man down.
And like Brad Stoffer said, they weren't ready for that pressure that they were putting on from the way that they played them last time.
Schiffman was taking a free run at the goal and just couldn't find the puck on the shot. Olsen blasted one in there, and that will be stopped, so Illiana will clear. Olsen doing a nice job preventing that. Another shot into the chest.
You'll take that hold by Illiana. Let your team get some changes. As we watch there, you saw that the player brought it out in front for Illiana, and number 21, like he was going to, and Fiandenka, it looked like he was going to give it to his goalie to hold on to.
All right.
But then he's like, oh no, I got a chance to maybe clear it, but also with a good hold, kept that one in.
1:22 on the Chicago power play. As they win the faceoff, Zwane over Lemansky.
It's a small thing, but another thing the Cougars have been good at as the game's worn along is winning those faceoffs. I think Illiana was getting the early advantage, but the Cougars seem to have stepped that up since at the end of the first period.
Barcy in the puck for the first time in the last 10 minutes, it feels like.
Yeah, he hasn't seen it a lot since the early part of the third period.
Working on a 5-point lead, Doremus wants more. He had that center, and Nickerson couldn't hold it. Ooh, and awkward fall there by Palermo. You hope he's okay. He looks to be okay.
Yeah, he just had to stick his skate out to try and block that one, and it just caused him to lose his edge. It's like a rail suddenly changing on a train track. Train's not going to stay on the rails if that happens.
No. Good thing when Doremus went in on that rush, Zwane stayed back a little bit, as you're supposed to do as the forward.
That's good recognition, and obviously there's got to be some communication as well.
And now Palermo's going to come off. His replacement, that's Laukinen tracking down the puck, and Nickerson. Laukinen looking from the outside. Nickerson in front. Backhander, no.
Nickerson looked like he's on a mission this shift.
Lomberg actually blocked the shot for Gavin Nickerson. He had a lot of net to shoot at.
Here comes the Blackbirds. Oh, and he needed that shot on the one-timer. He took one extra step.
Yeah, I don't think he had problems corralling the puck, and then by the time he did, he was well low. He just missed his opportunity.
Krolak vying for his second goal, and Zwane getting into it with a lot of red sweaters.
And Anthony Zwane was a little bit off sides there, too. That was the cause. You see, Lomberg couldn't quite hold the skate on the blue line to stop the whistle from happening. I think you're getting a change here, too. You're seeing, I think it's that third or fourth line out for the Cougars on the power play here to enter. Well, it's back to 5-on-5 now, excuse me.
Another draw win for the Cougars.
Illiana kills another power play. It's very strange that the Cougars have no problem scoring when it's 5-on-5, and they just can't find the net when they're a man up.
They're a pretty good man down, too.
And Olsen looking for his first goal of the night.
Waiting to see what this whistle was called for here. You got a player down for the Cougars in Brennan Peters. You've got the box open. They're calling a cross-check.
Cross-check into Peters by Sands.
But here's the thing.
No, Keller.
The Cougars had the puck. So that's why I'm shocked about the whistle.
Right.
It didn't seem like anybody on Illiana had enough control of the puck to cause the whistle.
And so as it is, another power play for Chicago. Or is it a double? I don't know if the scoreboard's having trouble or what.
Well, I think they just put it up on the wrong side and then put it on the other side.
Judging by the number of people on the ice,
there we go.
Another advantage for Chicago. We'll see if they can finally capitalize on a power play. Not that they need to. Already up 5.
Well, they don't have the option to decline it, so you might as well score, right?
You get more work on it, that's for sure.
And
they've needed it so far. One thing that Brad Stofers was very adamant about, net front presence, not enough of it by the Cougars.
Well, let's see if they can do that on this power play then.
Hard shot goes wide. Nickerson fighting for the puck, and Palermo comes over to help. His shot. Score! And it's 9-3, and Chicago finally capitalizes on their power play.
I want to see, too, because that didn't look like it was going to be an opportunity for a goal. It was kind of just a low wrister, maybe looking for a rebound is what it looked like.
Right.
And I think maybe just positioning was a little bit off there. As we get to look at this one more time, I mean, good work here by Palermo. He gets up near the top of that circle, and I guess maybe positioning a little bit off and just missed it. Didn't get out far enough to play the shot big, cut off the angle.
And Palermo makes it 8 Cougars on the board.
I think it's one of those things, though, they're fortunate, too. You know, Coach Stouffer's talked about net front presence. That shot, as good as it is that it went into the net, when you take a look at the replay there wasn't a Cougar anywhere near in sight around the net.
I think that was in part, too, because they had to try and regain possession of that puck is why. But you're right, there wasn't any.
Chicago again.
And it may seem like nitpicking. I mean, you're up 9-3, but again, you want to continue to work on the things that are going to make your power play successful.
Especially when you have to play the Dells Ducks one more time, and you want to win that series against them to maybe pass them out as the number 1 team in the Western Conference.
Illiana just hoping to save any kind of face in this game at this point.
High stick there. A little bit of a later whistle than I thought, too. As soon as he touched it, it kind of took an extra, a little bit of a breath before the whistle came. But it was definitely a high stick, so good call by the official.
Maxim Karpikov is back on the ice after being sent to the locker rooms early in the second period. And I'm sure Illiana's coach will use that as a teaching moment for him of you just can't lose your cool, especially when they were finally getting some life, the Blackbirds were.
Yeah, that did seem to be an unfortunate turn of events for them at that point in the game.
Chicago still wants more. They want double digits.
And on the Illiana side, you have 5 minutes left in this game. You're going to be playing the Cougars again tomorrow night. So why not get something positive going at this point that you can bring into tomorrow night's game? So never too late to build up some momentum and see if it can carry over game to game. I'm usually not a believer in that, but Illiana needs something positive to build from.
Maynard scoops the puck up, and now Karpikov is... Someone lost their stick over there, and the puck comes up here.
It's okay, Ryan Fahey. Puck's not coming near you. I got you. I got you.
Man down.
I believe Laukkanen lost his stick. See if he has it back or if he checked out of the game.
I think it was Lomberg, actually. And it was weird because he just kind of went flying in the air.
And Illiana.
Yeah, it might have been one pass too many there. You're right in on the goal. Just let it go.
But here they come again. Austin Ayers shot no good.
It's good for Barr to stand tall and be ready there. He hasn't seen much activity.
Maynard trying one. Nope. Slapped in and deflected off of Barr's glove. And Chicago will clear their zone.
Barr's got a pretty good glove hand, but he hasn't grabbed a whole lot of them.
Starvovich already with 2 goals trying to make a move. Under 4 minutes to go in the game. Peters and the Cougars trying to kill the time.
Long weekend, though, for the Cougars. 3 games. That's not something you see often by teams that have to play 3 in a row. And, of course, the team that they got to play at the end is the River Kings, who the last 2 times they played each other, very close games.
That game will be Sunday night at the Sears Center.
And we'll have that live for you, of course, here on SportsTownChicago.com. We watch a replay of that one going to the glove hand.
Now, Illiana don't necessarily need to put the pedal to the metal, but you'd like to see them run a play or two as Bullock trying to vibe for his second goal of the night.
Would have been a good opportunity if that puck wasn't as on edge as it was. May have gotten a goal there. That's something the Cougars will have to look at to not allow a player to get free like that, even late here.
Ooh, and not happy about what's going on in front of their own bench with the Cougars.
Yeah, there was some of that was self-inflicted by the Cougars, though. Knocked the man down on their own man.
Meanwhile, Illiana right in front of the net, and Barr another nice save.
It's a big body, and when he gets down low, you've got to try and go up higher on him if you're Illiana.
Right.
I haven't seen them. Most of their goals have been up high, too, is the thing. As you see the kick to get it to the stick, and just not a lot on it. That puck was a little bit on edge. That's probably why he couldn't send it really anywhere else for Kyle Fahey.
Guys, I don't know if I'm just noticing this or if it's been the case all game, but other than the speed, the Cougars just look much bigger, or this is just a very small line for Illiana, as you see with Fahey and...
I think that the Cougars do have a little bit more size, but I'd say they're fairly even in that category. But yeah, the Cougars are a big team.
And Fahey does a nice job of not letting Lemansky buy him there. Otherwise, that could have been 10 goals for the Cougars. Lemansky, his motor is still running full. He's going all over the ice here as we're in the final 2 minutes of the game. Chicago, a 6-point lead, will certainly go on to win their 25th game of the season.
When you look at it for the Cougars, too, everybody's scoring 8 different guys tonight. They haven't done that in a little bit. You want to keep that as your MO, because especially when you talk about a team like the Dells Ducks, yeah, you want your top guys scoring against them, or even the River Kings. You need that secondary scoring, though, too. It doesn't have to be all your scoring, but at least a goal here and there.
Right. Yeah, because a lot of times when you're talking about top teams, top lines cancel each other out. So then where does that secondary scoring come from? What's happening on special teams, power play, penalty kill?
And the Cougars have some guys that they can bring in and scratch it if somebody's not playing well on one of those lines. So that competition is there is the good thing, too. If you're not playing well, you will be sitting out in the stands in a suit.
And with 8 people on the scoring column, how do you choose 3 stars?
I think probably Mike Watson got to be one of them, since he's the only guy who got 2 of them.
Starvovich on the other end has 2. On the losing end. Final minute here, final 40 seconds actually. Chicago wants 10.
Rough play behind the boards there.
Physicality has not faltered one bit. Final 30 seconds now. Coach Stofers certainly has to be pleased with this finishing effort from his Cougars. Stavovich trying to do it all his own. Oh, Maynard paid the price for catching that puck. In the final 5 seconds now, and in front of the goal.
I think Watson.
It almost looked like it snuck by. There. It looked like it snuck by. It did not. They will not get 10 goals, but they do finish with a 9-3 win, the Chicago Cougars, over the Illiana Blackbirds.
Well, an impressive performance there by the Cougars. So going into the end of the second period, 6-3 score. Talked about the Cougars averaging 3 goals a period. Well, what did they do? They got another 3 goals here in the third. And we finished with a 9-3 victory for the Cougars. Very impressive. I think you can see their depth really won out as the game progressed.
The handshakes are well earned. The Cougars will go to center ice. It almost looked like they were going to go shake the Blackbirds' hands, but I'm not sure what
they're doing the salute to the fans.
So they will circle around and salute this scattered crowd.
Nice
couple of high fives from family. as they announce the 3 stars of the game. Joey Palermo, your first star.
Nick Kropp, second star.
And no surprise there, as your number 1 star is Mike Watson, and that's exactly who our own Chris Labosco is standing by with. Chris?
Thanks, Eric. Here with the captain, Mike Watson. Hey, 2 goals today. You guys had up and downs, but for the most part, you guys played pretty well against this Illiana Blackbirds team.
Yeah, I think it was really good. Kind of slow start, but I thought it showed a lot of character, whole team character, coming out and battling back.
Yeah, they managed to score first on you guys, but you guys didn't let that get you down. First period really kind of took it to them towards the end. Third period I thought was one of the better period for you guys. What was your thoughts, when you guys do get up as much as you do, how do you keep that intensity?
I think the one thing that's really big for us is just team consistency and being consistent for a whole 60 minutes. And I think that if we're going to take this thing deep, that's something that we need to improve on. Today was a big step, just coming in, and we've always been kind of a third period team, which not necessarily a good thing, but I think it's good that we're able to put up so many goals in the third period when we sometimes start slow.
And I think you guys are best too when not just one guy is scoring, 8 different guys scoring today. Almost said tonight. I keep thinking that it's a night game, but 8 different guys scoring. Obviously, you get 2. That's good, but how important is it to have everybody involved?
I think that's really good because especially when we get third and fourth line guys contributing and also some contribution on the back end, I think that's huge. Don't have to ride our top 6 guys as much, and it kind of takes the pressure off us, which is nice. But I think that overall, if we can just get everyone scoring, keep improving our depth, I think that's going to be huge for us.
Yeah, 2 more games this week. One more time with Illiana down at their place, and then Sunday you guys are back at the Sears Center for a big game against the Wisconsin Rapids River Kings. Is it important too, just to, 3 games in a row, let's get the Lions rolling so you can sit on the bench a little more?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very good. I think we can't look past this team tomorrow. We had some kind of scary moments today where it was like, oh, we got to pick it up, and I think we just have to take it one game at a time and worry about Sunday's game when it comes.
Well, congrats on your first star, and appreciate you talking to us, Mike. All right, that was your captain, Mike Watson. Back to you guys, Eric and Eric.
Eric and Eric, I like the sound of that. Boy,
Sounds good.
That captain sounded out of breath, didn't he?
Well, hey, he put in 2 goals and assists tonight, first star of the game. Why not? That was a heck of a performance by him. He was very noticeable on the ice, not just from the standpoint of being on the score sheet, but just being available.
Certainly a hard-earned first star for Mr. Watson, as he not just goals, numbered 9 and 10 on the season, part of 8 players who jumped onto the scoring column. And for Coach Brad Stofers, that's an excellent sign as you're about to play this team again tomorrow.
Yeah, he's going to be looking for the same thing. He's obviously you're never going to be perfect. Each coach is going to strive to have their team to try and be as perfect as possible. There's going to be mistakes. He just wants his team to minimize those mistakes. He knows his team's deeper than Illiana. He knows that if they play their game and they play their game the right way, they're going to wind up on top. And it's just a matter of making sure that they maintain that intensity. Again, the things we talked about, the 3 keys of the game at the beginning. And maintain the intensity.
And you're getting a montage of those 9 goals. They tried to get 10. We thought they had it right there at the end as you were running down there to get the interview, Chris.
Yeah, Mike almost had his hattie. I didn't want to mention it and didn't want to bring up some sore subjects there with him not getting the hat trick, but it's always good to talk to the captain. You see why he's the leader of the team, too, just with the way that he goes about everything there at the end and talking about how, we can't be satisfied. And for a team that wants to go far, that's what you need.
And we were just talking, Eric and I were, about how you play this team again tomorrow. It's a good sign, especially as you're fighting for that first place spot and chasing those Dells. What needs to change for Illiana?
For Illiana, I think they did some good things. I just don't know if they got the talent. I think that's the biggest thing for them. And And maybe this year it's not going to be the case. So just play the way that you can play. Just play your system as best as possible, and you can still be in a game if you're able to eliminate some of the chances that they gave to the Cougars. I mean, puck possession time, even if you're a team that's slow, that's something that you can still win. Right. So that's an area I think for them especially they need to try and improve.
I think early on to set the tone too with some chances for Illiana and passes just going wide. The timing seemed off all night.
Yeah, they did. And again, we talked about they got out of the gate strong, coming in as the road team per se, coming in and getting the early goal, getting the early lead. Looks like they had their legs under them a little bit more than the Cougars did from the outset. But as Chris alluded to, the talent levels on the team, there's an obvious disparity. So it's almost as if Illiana has to play the perfect game to stay in contention with the Cougars in a game. Whether or not they're capable of doing that, we'll see. They have a game tomorrow night in their barn. But they're going to have to put together a stronger performance. And like you said, puck possession is a key.
And that's not to say that there's not talent on the Illiana Blackbirds. There's definitely some really good players that they would, I was talking to Brad Stofers in between periods, and he's like, I wish I could have a guy or two on their team. I like what I see.
I think we're talking about depth, though, overall depth.
But overall depth, definitely from top to bottom, you have to give it to the Cougars. Okay. But for Illiana, like I said, puck possession time is a big thing when they look at the game tomorrow. This is a team in the Cougars that does have 3 games in a row and a big opponent on that third game. Maybe you catch them thinking a little bit too much about the next game and not focused on the Saturday game that's right in front of them, and maybe you can jump on them early. I mean, they did get the first goal in the game, too, to point out, but they didn't keep the momentum.
Exactly.
Was that a wake-up call for the Cougars, coming out sluggish and then all of a sudden you're down 1-0?
I think so. I really do. Especially with this team, they are I would say they're probably the most talented team that I've seen in this league. So on any given day, they should be able to win any game. So even against the Ducks are a pretty talented team, but I think the Cougars have more talent than them even.
Kind of interesting. Max Barr certainly could have been one of the stars. A big goalie. We said 6'4", and he has some length. He can really cover that goal. But he hasn't been the starter all year. We had 2 starters marked, and all of a sudden it was Barr. Do you like Barr going forward, or do you go back to who you had before?
Well, I think this was a good game for Barr. All the goals weren't his fault. He's a new guy to the team. He is. He's third week in, maybe. That's it. So I think for Brad, he's still getting to know this goaltender, and obviously they want to get him more time. But when you already kind of know who your top 2 guys are, just because they've been here the entire time, he knows them better. It's a little bit harder to really. You have to let him work his way and earn that spot to try and jump one of those 2 guys.
The Chicago Cougars, a 6-point win, 9-3 over the Illiana Blackbirds. They'll do it all again tomorrow. I kept saying tonight. Don't check outside. It's still day. This was an afternoon game, a very odd thing. But tomorrow they'll be back tomorrow night, and the same 2 teams will go at it. For Chris Labosco, Eric Willowhite, I am Eric O'Brien. Thank you for watching Sportstown Chicago's coverage of the United States Premier Hockey League. We will see you next time.